Hi guys! So today we're going to spice it up a bit and we're going to be making a traditional Lebanese cake. It is called Sfouf and it's really easy to make. So here we go. You're going to need a 20 by 20 centimeter pan, semolina number 1 and semolina number 2, some sugar, some vegetable oil, milk, butter, and turmeric. Okay, and there's a few other ingredients that I forgot to demonstrate here, but they're coming. So you'll see that. You'll see all the ingredients in the description below. So here I'm putting half a cup of sugar. Mind you, you can definitely use a full cup of sugar. I just prefer to try to reduce the amount of sugar we have in all our baked goods, but definitely use a cup if you would like. This is going to be a cup and a quarter of milk. And then you're going to want to whisk that up. So I'm going to use this bigger bowl now. I've set the milk aside, and so flour. This is one of the ingredients I forgot to mention in the beginning. So you're going to need half a cup of flour. Now I'm going to be putting 3/4 cups of each semolina. So this is a quarter cup, another quarter cup, and a third quarter cup. And now I'm doing the same thing with the other semolina number 2, which is a coarser grain. 1, 2, and 3. So in total you've got a cup and a half of the semolinas combined. So I'm going to just mix that up. So here's some baking powder. I also forgot to mention this. I'm very sorry about that. So 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then you're going to get your turmeric and put a tablespoon of turmeric. Now I'm taking some butter, so you're going to want a 1/4 cup of butter. And I'm just measuring out a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Now before I combine these two, I'm just going to pop this in the microwave to melt it for about 20 seconds. And I'm mixing in the oil with that. Now we're going to be adding this to the flour mixture here. And this is a great way to get some turmeric into your diet. Turmeric is not only an anti-inflammatory, but also an antioxidant. So it's really healthy, really good for you. And if you don't get enough turmeric in other foods, go for it. So I'm just going to mix it up here. And I'm just going to use my hand because it's starting to have a kind of dough-like texture. It kind of feels like that kinetic sand that kids play with. So if you want to get your kid involved, this is the fun part. So I'm just going to knead that up. It's actually really therapeutic to be doing this, believe it or not. So we're almost ready here to add in the milk and sugar mixture. So I'm just making a little hole in the middle. So I'm going to be adding in the mixture with the sugar and the milk. And you're going to want to stir that up. So at some point, you're going to want to set your oven to 350 and start preheating it, because we're about to put it in the pan, and then we're gonna bake it. So go ahead and start your oven now. So you're gonna wanna keep stirring it because it's gonna start to get a little thicker as you stir it. All right, so now I'm getting my pan, and we're going to take a little bit of tahini. So usually I stir it up a bit first because it tends to clump up in there. So just give it a stir, and then you're only gonna need a little bit here, a little drizzle. So I'm just gonna take my fingers and smooth it over the pan. And now you're gonna wanna get just a teaspoon or so of flour and place it over and get that flour all around the pan best you can. So that's going to prevent it from sticking. So now I'm just placing all of that batter into the pan. Hopefully you're not as messy as I am. But if you are, it's okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna smooth that down. And you'll see at this point it has gotten a bit thicker than when you first were stirring it together. So that's just fine, that's how it should be. So now it's pretty much almost ready. I'm just going to top it with some pine nuts. You can also use slivered almonds if you prefer, but this is the way that I like to do it. So now you're going to want to just pop it in the oven for 30 minutes. You can check it with a toothpick, but that should be enough time. And there you go. So it's going to be looking like this when it's done. You're going to want to let it cool down. And after it's cooled down a bit, just use a small spatula and make sure that it's not sticking to the sides. I just used a cutting board here to flip it over on one side. And now I'm going to use my serving plate, flip it over again. And there it is. It's ready. So it should look like that. Hopefully yours looks like that. I'm just going to be cutting it here. And a lot of recipes use only one kind of semolina, so you'll notice that I use two because it gets the top to have this kind of crispy texture. So it's really nice because it's soft in the inside and it's crispy on the top, and that's just how we like it. So I've cut it up here, and there you go. You can go ahead and serve yourself a piece. This goes really well with some black tea. And my family loves it, and I hope yours does too. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and let me know how it turns out. Enjoy!